Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I saw that just about, I think everybody but Megan. And Megan, whoever has Megan for their group, she's going to be late with her. She's in the hospital right now, so she's not going to be submitting. So anybody that has Megan Scanlon in their group, just just bypass that one. But everybody but that.
Oh, thank you. I emailed her before class, but so now I understand. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, she's been letting me know what's going on over the past couple of days, so she's going to be a little late. So don't worry about, you won't be responsible for that one this time. Okay. So everybody has their drafts in there. What you're going to do, is everybody clear with what they have to do with these sheets? Because I've been getting a lot of emails. People are kind of a little confused. I can show it now that we have people on the board. It's probably easier for me to show you. Okay. So for week 3, you're going to upload this form, download it to your computer. Okay. Fill it out, one for each person in your group. All right. And you know how to find the group people again. You go to that people and you're on there.
Question?
Yeah.
How do we edit it? Like, do we have to type it because it says like the yes or no? Like we can't just circle that.
Highlight, maybe just use a highlight and put the, like yellow equals, can you do something like that? Because you usually do that on or just put an X, you know what I mean? You can put like a big X or something by it, so you let you know what. Okay. Okay. So once you have those filled out, you're going to go to that discussion board where you uploaded your speeches. And you'll just hit reply. So if I was doing Laura's, I would just hit reply and I would just attach that form to that. That's all you have to do. You don't have to write anything in the discussion board itself. Just upload that form. Okay. So that will be due by tonight, those evaluation forms, only because I'm going to wait until tomorrow because I want to look at your evaluation forms and also the speech itself. And I'm going to give a little bit of comments. Remember, most of my comments were on that draft that I gave you, the outline draft that you sent in last week. And I gave you all those comments to kind of revise with that. But you'll take both. Okay. And then remember, we're not meeting next week. All right. We have no meetings for week 4, because what I want you to do is you're going to work on this speech and outline. All right, you're going to do all the revisions for them. You'll get some comments from me. You're going to use the comments from your peers. You will put your outline here, the revised one. Okay, and you'll put your speech here. You don't have to do anything. Nobody's commenting on anything for that. Okay, so it's another discussion board, but you don't have to put anything. Just upload your speech, your final speech. Next week, you also have a quiz just for module 6. You only have one module next week. The following week, all right, because we're not going to meet until Friday, which is going to be the 19th, but I will send you reminders and all that. You don't have to keep this all in mind. You're going to do the creative speech evaluation form. So what you're going to do during that week, you have until Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming up, next Tuesday, the week that we will be meeting again. This is the final speech evaluation. Same thing. You're going to do the same thing as you did for your peers. This one's a little bit more involved. It's asking you kind of, like finalize things. And you're not going to put that under a discussion board. You're just going to do that. And you're going to upload it to where it says, creative speech evaluation form, upload here. That's under week 5.
Professor?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Selena texted me. She's trying to get in the class and she can't get in.
I don't see her out there. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. Let me check. Tell her to try again because I don't see her in the waiting room. There's nobody. Because I usually get something that pops up.
So is the final speech and the final evaluations for other people, are they all due on Sunday? next Sunday?
Yeah, next Sunday will be the final one. There she is. Next Sunday will be the final one. So you're going to take the comments that I gave you for the outline. You're going to take the comments that everybody's given you for these drafts, for the video draft, put it all together. And then by next week, the final draft and final video will be due with all those revisions and corrections in it.
So what exactly is due to today?
So today what you're doing is you're giving comments on the drafts. The ones
Like as a reply?
yeah,
Like a
as a
blog
reply.
post?
I'll do it again. Yeah. You're going to reply to this one. This one's a little different from the actual final one. But yeah, this one you're going to upload this form. I suppose I was to fill this out for each person in your peer group. You know who's in your peer group, right, Nicole? Okay. So you're going to upload it to your computer, fill it out. And suppose this one was for Laura. I just grabbing a name. I'm going to go back into here where it says the draft, where I put the draft. I'm going to go to Laura because she was in my group. I'm going to hit reply. And I'm just going to upload my form, attach it to it. So that now Laura can access that.
Okay, got it. Okay. So
Now, go ahead.
so that's per every group member.
Yeah. So you only
Okay.
should only have 3 or 4, 3 or no more than 4 in your group. So
Okay.
just those. Okay.
Right.
Now, when I give you comments, sorry, Laura, I know I'm pulling up your grades and everything. When I give you comments, it's going to say on the site, it's only going to be between you and me. Okay. Not everybody. I'm not replying to your board because I don't want everybody seeing the comments that I'm giving you. Okay. So you'll be able, like I did with your creative draft, how it's on this, like you can read, it's just going to be between me and you. So I'm going to look at all this, what your peers said, and kind of take it in combination with the video and whatever kind of comments I can give you for that finalized draft that you'll be putting in next week. I'll put in those comments, in that comments on the side. Now, as for the grades for this, because I know people were a little concerned, is, I got a low grade in that creative outline. That's okay. Okay. It's not that grade is not going to stick with you. As you can see, everything is getting averaged into each specific grade. This creative speech all together, and that's going to include that video draft that you handed in today, the draft of the outline that you might have not gotten a good grade in because you were just learning how to do a draft, and everything that's revised. Okay, it's going to be worth 5, 5, and 5. So this is going to probably cancel out. If you get a 90 something in this, it's going to cancel out the 70 something that you had in that outline draft. Okay, so that overall creative speech is it's 15% of the entire grade. So you're going to see a big change just because right now your final grade in the class might say something low, something that you don't want. That's only because the only thing that's going in there so far are the quizzes that you've taken, which are only, like you can see, not much of the overall grade, 2%. And this 70, whatever you got in that outline draft so far. Okay, so that's why it might be on the lower side. But once these get averaged in, it's all averaged into one grade, it's going to come up, I promise you. Okay, so I know people were kind of a little concerned about that. Okay, that was that. I showed you how to do what you need to do for week 5. You know that you have your quiz due on Sunday. Next week, even though we're not meeting, you still have a quiz. So just make sure that you're kind of keeping up with that module for next week, along with, uploading that speech. And then I wanted to ask you what kind of issues you were having, because I know that the last class had said some, they said, first of all, they had a hard time kind of concentrating on a light. And it is, some of them, I don't know who, I didn't look at your speeches yet, but some people who were given especially instructional ones, you're kind of making something in the kitchen or making, showing somebody instructions on how to do something. They said it was very hard to do this and focus, I'm looking for that light on the camera that's sitting in front of me, and it kind of makes it that's what I'm kind of searching for. What did you guys experience so far?
I was trying to find perfect lighting. I tried to figure it out, and I need to remember my stuff better. I know that. So
okay. How about what are you filming on? What is most people filming on in here?
my computer.
Your computer. Okay. What else? Is anybody using a phone? Because I know some people.
I used my phone.
Okay, and how did you do that? How did you kind of angle stuff?
I kind of just like sat it up against my computer and left it there so like it wouldn't move.
Okay.
But the only other problem I had with it was like I felt awkward recording myself doing it,
Mhm.
like and not being in front of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a complaint that they had too. That's something that they were like, it's weird. It's weird because some of you have jokes, you know, I remember from some of the outlines have things that are supposed to be funny, kind of it's kind of like I was talking about Jimmy Kimmel when he was, I love Jimmy Kimmel, when he was coming from home over those past several months or whatever, he's telling jokes, but he's in his kitchen and there's like dead silence in the background. And it's like, I wonder if these jokes are hitting. I would feel really, you know, I guess self-conscious. Is it going across as funny? They are going across as funny. That is something that maybe you, as you're doing the reviewing, want to bring up, because if there is a joke in there, you would want to know, right? Does this sound okay? Does it sound, put something in those comments, you know, that, you know, the joke came across good, you know, or maybe it didn't hit the way it should. Maybe try something with like changing your voice around a little bit as you're kind of doing that up and down, because remember, this is all about tone and speech. And, you know, it's not just like, let me just stand up and talk and tell you, you know, here's a creative speech. Let me give it to you. It's all about kind of how you present. Shirts. Somebody said, you know, am I allowed to say something because somebody had this bright striped shirt on when they were giving the speech, and it was very kind of distracting. They noticed themselves, they kept looking at the person's clothing rather than listening. Now, you don't want to be mean, but at the same time, say, you know, the clothing, my eyes seem to go, make it on you. You know, my eyes seem to kind of look at your clothing a lot more, you know, or your shirt was kind of, don't say ugly, you know, whatever. Just tell them something nice that, you know, this is kind of distracting, so that maybe when they do their final speech, they can, and I'm not saying you have to be dressed up in ties and shirts or nothing, but something that's bright and loud or striped or something that's catching people's eyes to a different, you know, that can be kind of distracting. So maybe just put these are the kind of things that they're going to look for, or you should think about when you fill out these, you know, evaluations. Don't just, oh, everything's nice. Oh, it was beautiful. It was nice, because that's not really giving them good feedback, because then they're going to say, oh, it was great, and I'll just go and do that. So, you know, you want to be honest, but don't be mean. But if there's anything in there that might, if they're too low, maybe you can't hear them as well. Maybe try turning this up next time, or adjusting your volume, or maybe you're adjusting your voice, because at times it was a little low. I couldn't hear you. Okay, those are the kind of things that they give good feedback. What else? What else is, trying to think of what else they said. Practicing comes into play here, because a lot of people said that they found themselves doing when they were filming, and then they said, I'd go back and listen, and there had to be at least 15 times I said or yeah. And we do that a lot. And it's, the more you practice this, the less you're going to say that. You're going to notice as you listen to your feed, you know, when you're playing it back, oh, I said it less this time, I said it. That's only because your mind's you're going by an outline. And it's, I don't know what I'm saying next. This is new. Yeah, I have so many, yeah, exactly. I have so many retakes, because you find yourself saying, I'm saying this a million times. As you practice, even if you're cleaning the bathroom on Saturday, kind of run through that speech in your mind, you know, before you're doing this final throughout the next several days. And you will, those ums will start going away. You'll see that they'll a lot less. What else? What other kind of issues?
Wait, I have a question.
Mhm.
Is our final draft going to be in video form, or are we going to do it like on Zoom?
This one here for this speech is going to be video form. This is going to be just like you did. The next speech, we're going to be on Zoom. The final speech, you're going to be on Zoom, but you're going to be using like a PowerPoint or something. So we're going to hear you, but we're just going to, you know, you're going to be explaining through a PowerPoint or something. Okay. So we only have to actually see you for one speech, which will be the next one, which will be live like this. Okay. So what else? What other kinds of issues did you kind of find as you're going through this?
I found that the timing was just like too short, because I feel like when I give a speech, I like to like talk and expand, and in 2 minutes it was kind of difficult to like get everything out without rushing and stumbling on my words.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
was a little difficult.
Okay, so yeah, 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So you can have up to 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which a lot of times goes by real quick and you don't realize it. Again, practicing. If you find you need to maybe cut some things out to kind of get it into that range, that might have to be done. You don't want to talk too fast because you very well get all this in and I'll talk, because then it comes out, comes across as rushed. So, and what were you doing again, Nicole? What was your speech on?
I was writing a wedding toast for my best friend.
Okay. And what did you get it as you were practicing? What's the closest you've gotten it to the 3:15?
Oh, after like 20 times, I got it to like 3:05.
Okay. Okay. So you still have a little bit of time to play with.
Yeah,
it.
but I cut out so much like wording and stuff, like completely cut out so much.
Okay.
That's better than mine. Mine was like 4:35. I still have to work on getting a lot of it out.
All right. We will get longer as it goes along. The next speech is going to be between 3 minutes and I think like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And the next one will be up to 5 minutes, like 5:15. So because that'll be your
Yeah, mine's at 4:35 right now, so I have to
Play
take some
around with
things out. Yeah.
okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean, try your best with that. I mean, I'm supposed to penalize you. I'm not going to penalize you that much if it's, don't go crazy over, but if it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm not going to kill you for it. It's okay. I mean, I
It
know.
is hard because it's a eulogy, so I have a lot to like say.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Just try not to go over like 3:30. Don't make it like closer to 4 minutes or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What else? What other kind of? So you're working on extemporaneous, right? That's one of our words this week that's going on in the chapters, right? We talk about the different types of speeches this week. And that extemporaneous means that we're kind of using both. We're using an outline, but we're only using that. That's why I was really hard on some of you with that outline. You don't want full sentences, right? You want just enough little phrases and words, just enough to kind of get you going. All right, I'm moving on to a body. So here's where I can put my full sentence. Here's where I'm moving on to just parts and pieces, right? So I just want phrases. So it's because I'm telling you, if you have it all written out in front of you and go by that with it all written out, it's going to come out very mechanical. It will. You're not going to have that kind of ebb and flow where your mind's actually, okay, where am I going next with this? It does help to kind of change tone, just subconsciously. It does. It helps to change tone and speed and stuff like that. All right. So do you have anything else you want to talk about? Okay. I am here for you, even though we're not meeting next week. I am here for you. If you need me, just email. The next time we will meet will be Friday, the 19th of February, but I will get your grades in. You're going to have these in by Friday, these final speeches. I will grade them next weekend. Okay, so you'll have them by the end of the weekend. You will have feedback from me for this video draft by probably do some tomorrow and some on Sunday. So by Monday morning, everybody should have that feedback. So you have that whole week to kind of work with that. And just keep up with the modules, keep up with your quizzes. And I will see you on the 19th. All right, not send reminders.
We're not meeting next week.
Right, we're not meeting until the 19th now. We don't
Okay.
meet, okay? So you're gonna work on that. Just make sure you're abiding by due dates. I will put reminders in there. I'll send the announcement reminders and stuff to keep you up to date.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the creative outline is due next week Friday, and then the final speech is due on Sunday.
No, everything's due on Friday. When you upload the speech, you're gonna upload the speech to the one area and the outline to the other area. They're both on there under week 4. Okay, so the outline's going to go here, the speech is going to go here. Both of them are going to be due on Friday at the same time by 11:59.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So if you don't have questions, then have a good weekend. Have a good week. I think it's going to snow again on Sunday. And I look forward to looking at your speeches. Okay.
Thank
Right.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah.